All right, at this time, I'd like to call the Lafayette Parish Council meeting to order. At this time, I'd also like to ask Councilman Carlson to lead us in the prayer and Councilman Tabor to lead us in the pledge.
Heavenly Father, we thank you for tonight. We thank you for this opportunity that we as a Parish Council and citizens of Lafayette have the opportunity to gather here. I pray that in everything that we discuss and do and decide tonight that we would represent you, honor you, as well as the citizens of Lafayette in our decisions tonight. Help us tonight, give us wisdom, and guide us in everything that we do. In Jesus' name I pray. Amen.
Amen. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. All right, we welcome you to the Lafayette Parish Council meeting. As presiding officer, I'd like to announce the following. This is a public hearing. To address the council on any item on this agenda, we ask that you please fill out the speaker form or that you call into 291-8428 to submit your information to the clerk prior to the call of the agenda item. If not, you will not be given opportunity to speak. Staff assistance is available if needed. Items for submission to the council should be handled to Council Clerk Ms. Veronica Williams, who is seated all the way to my left. When addressing the council, please state your name and title for the official record. The 5-minute rule will be in effect. There will be no debating or confrontational statements that will be allowed. The front row is used for media only. Food and drinks are not allowed in the auditorium, and at this time, we ask you to please silence all cell phones, electronic devices, beepers, VCRs, or any electronic device you might have. Meeting procedures are by resolution and not by Robert's Rules of Order. All documents with reference to meetings can be found on the LCG website. And finally, the council encourages your involvement in boards and commissions. If you're interested, we ask that you please call 291-8800. Again, that's 291-8800 for involvement with boards and or commissions. Moving to chair announcements, there will be a special council meeting called directly following this regular meeting. A public hearing for citizens' input on the budget will occur at the special joint meeting of the Parish Council and the City Council following the special Parish Council meeting. Any public comment regarding the proposed budget should occur at that time. For those tuning in from home or other locations, you may call in at 291-8428, 291-8428 if you wish to speak. Please keep in mind when you do so, there will be a delay when viewing on TV or via the internet. Any other council announcements? Okay, I'm seeing none at this time. We'll move right along to Executive Mayor President's report. This time I'd like to recognize Mayor President Josh Guillory. You have the floor, sir.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Nothing at this time.
All right. Thank you so much. Moving right along. Comments from the public. Check with Ms. Williams for public comments. If so, go ahead and let's read the announcements. At this time, it's to speak about topics relative to the parish of Lafayette that are not included on the agenda items. Again, it must be something that's related to the parish only. No debating or confrontational statements will be allowed. For efficiency and to allow everyone an opportunity to speak, questions should be submitted in writing to the clerk of the council. We have many waiting for tonight's meeting, so you're reminded that the 5-minute rule will be in effect. We have a lot of meetings on the agenda. And Ms. Williams, call the first speaker.
Mr. Chair, we had citizens signed up, but those citizens want to speak specifically to the budget. So, of course, that item is on the joint meeting agenda. So if there was anyone who signed up for the parish council comments open mic, that's not related to the budget. If you would like to speak and you signed up. I think everybody I have wants to speak to the Martin Luther King voting site. Okay, no speakers.
Okay. All right, we move to ordinances for final adoption. This is a public hearing. Speaker sheets or calls are available for anyone wishing to address the council. 5-minute rule does apply. Chairman, please read the first one.
Parish Ordinance 34, 2020. An ordinance of the Lafayette Parish Council authorizing the Lafayette Mayor President to enter into an intergovernmental agreement between the Lafayette City Parish Consolidated Government and the City of Carencro concerning the surface improvements to Bow Basin Road and amending the fiscal year 1920 capital budget of the Lafayette City Parish Consolidated Government by increasing reimbursement revenues from the City of Carencro in the amount of $112,000 and appropriating within the Public Works Department for said project.
Okay, need a motion and a second. Motion by Councilman Tabor, second by Councilman Carlson. Any council discussion on this item? Seeing none, Ms. Williams, any public comment?
No, sir.
Okay, please call the roll.
District 1? District 2?
Yes.
District 3?
Yes.
District 4?
Yes.
Motion to adopt is approved. Parish Ordinance 35, 2020, an ordinance of the Lafayette Parish Council approving the establishment, maintenance, and operation of a temporary branch office of the Lafayette Parish Registrar of Voters at the Martin Luther King Recreation Center for conducting early voting pursuant to Louisiana Revised Statute 18133, authorizing and directing the Lafayette Mayor President to enter into an intergovernmental agreement with the City of Lafayette for the funding of the temporary branch office for the Lafayette Parish Registrar of Voters at the Martin Luther King Recreation Center for conducting early voting, and amending the fiscal year 1920 operating budget and capital budget of the Lafayette City Parish Consolidated Government by increasing reimbursement revenues to the Parish of Lafayette from the City of Lafayette to provide funding needed for said temporary branch office of the Lafayette Parish Registrar of Voters for conducting early voting.
Okay, need a motion and a second. Motion by Councilman Gilbo, second by Councilman Carlson. Not seeing any council discussion at this time. Ms. Williams, any public comment?
Yes, sir, we do have public comment, but first, citizens who did not wish to speak, who signed in or called the council office, there were 20 in support of this item and 2 in opposition. We do have 7 speakers. Kathleen Espinoza. She will be followed by Tara Laxey.
I urge you to vote yes on this item. I want to thank you for your efforts to expand early voting across the parish. I know that there are lots of layers, city, parish, Secretary of State's office as well, so I appreciate those efforts. I suspect that you as elected officials are more aware than most that a voting infrastructure is really the only sure thing that gives rise to all the other types of infrastructure that you're tasked with providing for Lafayette Parish. Early voting is one of a set of very important tools that make up the voting infrastructure of Lafayette. And certainly there remains a lot of uncertainties to this day what the election cycle will look like in a month and a half. And so I think expanding early voting now, instead of just 1 early voting site, should this pass, we have 3 early voting sites. That's fantastic. And I congratulate you. And I think it'll put us in a much better position to handle the uncertainties of the next several weeks. Let's see, so the League of Women Voters pledges to do what we do every election cycle, which is publish a voting guide that tells people where to vote, how to vote, what's on the ballot. But I do have one other ask for you, and that's to use the really vast resources that you have in terms of public information that's at your disposal, and let people know that now there are actually 3 places to early vote. Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much. Next speaker.
Next speaker is Tara Laxey, followed by Devon Norman. And Tara, if you could come, yes, ma'am, to the one on the right.
Good evening, Tara Laxey, Unity 7. I'm just...
Tara, could you raise up the mic?
It looked like it was broken.
There you go.
Okay. I don't want to be responsible for breaking it. I'm just here to say that I am in support of having a voting site at the Martin Luther King Center, considering where the others are. The location would be wonderful for my community, easier access. So I just ask y'all to please support that location. Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much.
Devon Norman, followed by Wallace Senegal.
Good evening to everyone. To the council, mayor, president, thank you all for the opportunity to speak on this matter. I often speak about the struggles of people on the north side of town, and usually it may seem like I might be a little emotional or angered, but I'm not on today. I'm actually pretty hopeful. I think that this is a great opportunity for the city to see that there is something I would hope that we could all come into agreements on, is that everybody should have easy access to vote. Voting should not be something that, not in 2020 in America, that we should have to not be able to be, this should not be accessible in our communities. What this would do for our community is that it would encourage more people to be a part of this democracy, this beautiful democracy that is on the line in this election. And I'm grateful today to stand and say that I believe that this time is the most enthusiastic time that people are participating in their local government. They're wanting to participate more across the board. And so I believe that for this city, in the dark days that we've had recently, that this would be a light that people need, a beacon of hope that at some point we can come together. No matter what we disagree on, no matter how much we may argue or whatever, that one thing we can agree on is that voter suppression should not exist for anyone. See, the difference between 2020 and so many years ago is that voter suppression really only existed for a certain type of people. But now it seems that anybody can be suppressed. As long as you don't have a certain amount of money or you look a certain way, it does not really matter. There are many different categories that you could be placed in to be suppressed. But today what we're saying is that that won't happen in Lafayette. Today what I see is that we're on the track to make it happen that everybody in this city would have access to voting. So I would encourage the council to think about that on today and to try to wonder in your minds and ponder upon your minds, what if it were you that didn't have easy access to vote? What if it were you that had to go on the other side of town, or maybe in an area that you may not necessarily trust because of your history with the government or the police? Now you have access to be able to go into your community and vote. Many people are in disagreement right now with mail-in ballots and things of that nature. And as you can see, a lot of people are losing trust in the systems because of what's going on in our mailing system. So I believe now that this is, again, a beacon of hope, of opportunity for our people, that even as this is going on across the country, that, again, it won't happen in Lafayette. So I do rise in support, and I hope that you all do the right thing on today. And thank you so much for bringing this to the table. God bless you.
Thank you very much. Next speaker.
Wallace Senegal. You could come to the right, Mr. Senegal. Followed by Jared Eubanks.
Good evening, gentlemen. Good evening to the mayor and everyone that's here. I am so proud of you guys for even bringing this up and putting it on the agenda to have a voting site at Martin Luther King Center. For many, many years, we've been fighting to get an early voting site somewhere else other than 1010 Lafayette Street. And, you know, I was so proud when I heard you guys was going to bring this up on the agenda to have at least a conversation about it, but not just a conversation, to be strong enough to vote so we could have this early voting site at Dr. King Center. We had many places, sites that we wanted to have an early voting site. And each time it always came up where we didn't have the adequate amount of money to do it. Now it seems like everything is coming in the right places. And I urge you guys to please vote for us to have an early voting site at King Center, because we're going to have them in our surrounding while we can't have it within the city of Lafayette. Thank you guys for all that y'all doing.
Thank you, sir.
Jared Eubanks. It would be the microphone on the left, followed by Susan Thiel.
Good evening. My name is Jared Eubanks. I live in Parish District 5. I want to say I really appreciate what you guys are doing here. I was a little apprehensive when the original early voting center, and I think you guys are doing the right thing. I think these going hand in hand are a big deal for Lafayette Parish, and I want to say thank you guys for this. I know these are both temporary. I hope that we can sustain them both, and I hope if we sustain one, we realize we have a responsibility to sustain the other. But overall, I want to say I support this, and thank you guys tonight.
Thank you so much. I appreciate that. Next speaker.
Susan Theo, followed by William Teely.
May I take this off now?
Yes, my
How are
daughter.
y'all doing? It's good to see some of you that I know, and I wanted to introduce myself to the others that may not know me. My name is Susan Theo, and I'm a candidate for District Court Judge, Division M, which is the Family Court Judgeship. I formerly served as family court judge, and I've been a family law attorney for 34 years. I'm really excited about this proposal for voting on the north side. Let me just throw that in. I believe it's necessary. This particular district that I'm running in is almost all of Lafayette Parish. It only includes 7 precincts on the north side, but they're very important precincts. And so I'm very much in favor of it. I practiced family law for 34 years. It's where I've devoted my entire professional career. It's what I love. It's what's most important to me. It's what I felt I could most help people in this area of law. Family is so important to people here in South Acadiana, and certainly this is why I'm doing this, so that I can help people. I'm the only candidate in this race who's previously served as a judge in family court. I'm the only candidate in this race who's a board-certified family law specialist. There are only 77 of us in the entire state. I have the experience, the compassion, and the desire to continue to serve our community. And I wanted to introduce myself, to advise you that I was running, to let you know about the deep passion that I have for this area of law, how important I believe this area of law is, because family court judgeships often get left in the shadows. People don't think they're quite as important, and I believe it's one of the most important positions. It's going to be a confusing race in November. There are at least 4 other judicial positions open. Both Judge Rubin and Judge Edwards are retiring from their positions, so there are 2 minority judgeships. Judge Michaud is also retiring, and then Judge Fitzgerald, who's the current family court judge, is moving up to the Court of Appeal. We also have a city court judgeship, so I'm getting questions all the time. Where do I vote? Do I vote in your district? And we're called District 3 for election purposes, and it's almost all of Lafayette Parish. My district ends at I-10, so anything north of I-10 is not my district, because that would be Karen Crow and some of the other north side precincts that are not involved. Again, thank you for allowing me to give a few brief remarks. I look forward to meeting you all on the campaign trail, and I will ask for your support then. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you very much. Next speaker.
Next speaker is William Teely. Mr. Teely, you may begin speaking.
Hello, my name is Will Teely. I live in Parish District 5. Councilman A.B. Rubin represents me. So thank you to him, and thank you to everyone on the council. Yeah, I call in a lot to these council meetings, and I feel like I complain a lot. But today, I'm going to say encouraging things. I support this ordinance. I appreciate you putting it on the agenda. A month ago, on July 21st, I called into the council meeting opposing the early voting site at the East Regional Library near Broussard and Youngsville because I didn't think it was fair to open an early voting site in a predominantly white part of our parish and not open one as well in a predominantly black part of our parish. But I did not call in to oppose that ordinance during final adoption because of this ordinance right here before you today. This, I think, is going to bring fair, equitable, early voting to the parish of Lafayette. I'm encouraged by it, and I encourage you all to vote in favor of it. My only concern East Regional Library early voting site ordinance is that both early voting sites are temporary. And I don't want to see us lose one and keep the other going forward into the future. As long as we've got one of these locations, we've got to have the other to make voting fair and equitable for all people in our parish. So greatly encouraged, please vote for it, and please keep both this early voting site and the East Regional Library early voting site operating. Thank you for your time.
Thank you. No other speakers, Mr. Chair.
Oh, okay, all right. At this time, go ahead and please call for the vote.
District 2,
Yes.
District 3,
Yes.
District 4,
Yes.
District 1. Motion to adopt is approved.
Okay, now we're going to move to consider appointment by the council as a whole to boards and commissions. Chairman, please read.
Appointment to the Lafayette Convention and Visitors Commission as of 01/01/2020. This is a 4-year term.
Okay, Ms. Williams, you want to read the names? You did such a great job last meeting. I just thought you could do it again.
I'll put my glasses on. Okay, the names Diego Travarez, Susanna Mabro, Margaret Bienvenu, Fimaleo Rito, Mick Essex, and James Dore. Susanna Malbro is the incumbent.
Okay, ask for a nomination, please.
James Dore.
We have a nomination by Councilman Gilbo for James Dore. Councilman Tabor, you have the floor.
Susan Malbro.
Okay, we have a vote for Susan Malbro or James Dore.
And it takes 3 to appoint someone.
And did we tie on this one last time?
Yes, we did. You
Okay.
did.
What you mean I did?
You all did.
Okay, all right, the parish council.
Oh, it was him.
It wasn't me. All right, go ahead.
District 3,
Dore.
District 4,
Dore.
District 1, District 2.
Mabro.
Neither person received a majority.
All right, okay, call it again.
District 3,
Dore.
District 4,
Dore.
District 1, District 2.
Dore.
Dore is appointed. Appointment to the Lafayette Economic Development Authority Board as of September 1st, 2019. This is a 5-year term.
Okay, please read.
The names are Jamal Taylor, Michelle Robertson, Phyllis Mouton, Dana Phillips, Erica Fox, Desiree Provost, Benjamin Quarter, G. Bro, Josh Edmond, Africa Dolphiny, Sherelle Wiltz Castile, Mary Riggs Cook, Keithan Domain, Chelsea Zeno, A. Lejeune, Charlotte Clavier, Timothy Supple, Michael Davis, Debbie Ryan, Melissa Rogers, Mark Dore, and Kelly Garrett. There is no incumbent.
Okay. Councilman Carlson.
I'd like to nominate Mark Dore.
Okay, we have a nomination for Mark Dore. Any other nominations?
Timothy Supple.
Okay, hit your little button. Okay, Councilman Gilbo, you have the floor.
Timothy Supple.
Okay. We have a nomination for Tim Supple and Mark Dore. Any council discussion? Seeing none, Ms. Williams, any public comment? Okay. Please call the vote.
District 4,
Timothy Supple.
District 1, District 2,
Mark Dore.
District 3.
Dore.
Dore is appointed. Appointment to the Tesh Vermilion Freshwater District Board as of 8/1/2020. This is a 2-year term.
Resumes received from Ray Boyer, Ed Sonye, and Harold Shuffler. Ed Sonye is the incumbent.
Councilman Carlson.
I'd like to nominate Ed Sonye.
Okay, we have a nomination for Ed Sonye. Councilman Gilbo.
Harold Scheffler.
Okay, we have a nomination for Mr. Harold Shuffler. Any council discussions? Seeing none. Any public comment?
No, sir.
Okay, please call the vote.
District 1, District 2,
Ed Sonnier.
District 3,
Sonia?
District 4,
Scheffler.
Sonia is appointed.
Okay. We'll now move to introductory ordinances. Ask for a motion and a second for intro to consider items 11 and 12.
So moved.
Got a motion by Councilman Gilbo, second by Councilman Carlson. Please read.
Parish Ordinance 36, 2020, an ordinance of the Lafayette Parish Council amending the fiscal year 1920 capital budget of the Lafayette City Parish Consolidated Government by budgeting the parish-wide Parks and Recreation project money in Fund 276 to various parish park projects within the Department of Parks and Recreation. Parish Ordinance 38, 2020, an ordinance of the Lafayette Parish Council amending the fiscal year 1920 operating budget of the Lafayette City Parish Consolidated Government to adjust amounts for administrative and general costs to actual.
Okay, are there any public comment on these ordinances?
We did have two citizens who called in for item number 11 with reference to the Parks and Recreation Project money funding. Two people called in opposition to it.
Okay, that's it. All right, please call the vote to introduce in globo.
District 2,
Yes.
District 3,
Yes.
District 4,
Yes.
District 1. Motion to introduce in globo is approved.
Okey dokey. We'll adjourn the regular parish council meeting.